Let's make an overskirt for an 1870s dress. Hi everyone, I'm Caitlin. I teach old-fashioned sewing skills, and a couple years ago we made a 1870s cotton dress out of this fabric. And I cut out the apron or the overskirt and I never put it together, but I have an 1870s event coming up in a month and a half. So I figured I'd go ahead and make it so I can make that dress either for working class or an added apron and make it a little bit prettier. And yes, you will hear chirping behind me because we have guinea pigs that are going into their new enclosure today, so my sewing room will hopefully not smell like a barn anymore. But yes, they are here for right now. So I gotta figure out what I have here and what pieces. That looks like maybe an apron. I don't even remember what pattern I used for this. This was 3 moves ago, but I have 2 of these, and I know it was going to put a lot of ruffles on it. So I'm betting this is extra fabric for ruffles. Or I already cut ruffles. I already cut ruffles. Awesome. All of this is going to need to be ironed. And then this is extra fabric. That's a good bit of extra fabric. I can make kids' clothes out of that. That's fantastic. Alright. And I will go ahead and iron all these pieces before I see you, and we will start putting things together. I think we're going to use the 1870s machine because why not? It's an 1870s dress, right? So yeah, I'll iron it and we'll figure out what pieces go together. Alright, so I ironed all the pieces. I found what are supposed to be ruffles, and so I'm going to sew them all together. They are all bias, which should mean I really shouldn't have to hem any of this. They shouldn't ravel. I mean, they've been like this for quite a while and they haven't raveled, so I'm going to assume that they're good because it's been, again, a couple of years since I've done this. Alright, I need to go find my little cup and to be able to thread that. I'm still not 100% sure what pattern I used to cut this out or if I made one up, but I am about 95% sure it is Marna's Martha, which would make sense because the dress that I made, you know, the pattern I used for the dress was Marna's Lillie, and so it makes sense that I would use another one of her patterns for the overskirt, unless the red dress was really the Martha. I don't even remember at this point. I've been telling everybody it was the Lillie, but maybe I made that up. Anyway, this is Wilma. She's an 1870s Wilcox & Gibbs sewing machine. And I use her for most of my 1870s stuff because, well, she's 1870s. Really, for a lot of my 1870s stuff and my 1880s stuff, I use this machine. And I'm going to try to match the plaid on all of this. And Wilma gives what is called a chain stitch, so she has no bobbin underneath her, which does mean that I need to tie this off every time, which honestly is best practice to do that anyway, even with a, you know, a bobbin machine. Good news is this is working really well as far as matching the plaid. Alright, now we have the whole bit, and yes, the cat is underneath me. I'm playing with the camera, so if it moves slightly, I'm sorry. He does what he wants. So I'm going to sew this together. I'm not going to line it at all. I don't see the need to. The dress is entirely unlined as well, so no need to line anything. these pins out. I'm going to cut out this back one. Just trim it to about 1/8 of an inch or so. Alright. I'll iron that over. Let's do this one. So now I'm going to go ahead and gather up by hand the ruffles, because there's going to be 2 ruffles. I'm going to do one on the very bottom here and then one on the top. I think it looks long enough to go around. I'm going to have to measure it just to be sure. I may just be doing 1 ruffle. It's just going to depend on what I have already cut out. Because even though I have enough fabric, I'm not going to mess with that. Alright, this is the ruffle. We are gathering it. Again, it has to be done by hand. Alright, now I get to sew this on. I've been doing it in sections because for some reason, I've been missing a lot of my pins. I think they're in various projects places, but yeah, I don't have a lot left, so I'm trying to do this in sections so I have enough to just pin it on.
Pins that were on the sewing machine.
Oh, sorry, here's some right here.
Just need 5 or so.
Yeah, that should be. Do you need one more?
Yes.
Here's another one.
Thanks.
Oh, cool. it because it's just a little too long for angled. One ruffle in, one more to go. Alright, working on the second ruffle. So here's what it's looking like with two ruffles. I just put it basically right above the first one. So it's nice and pretty. I do love it when plaids or stripes are on the bias. I think it just adds a little bit of visual interest that I just personally like. There is a string to pull somewhere. There we go. Okay. And actually I need to mark first 3.5 inches above all this because that's where it's going. It's 3.5 inches to the top. I'm going to sew that that's about a quarter. I guess I could go a little bit further because I think I have I have 3 more pins. Alright, let's go a little bit further. That's the second ruffle. I'll finish this, we'll get the waistband on and be done. Alright, I have a just a little over an inch waistband I put together. And I'm going to sew it directly onto this apron that we made. So the apron is pretty long, much longer than my waist, so I'm gathering it in. The hand gathers as before. Right in there. Let's try it all on with the dress and everything. Alright, so underpinnings are on. I gotta put on the dress so I can put it on the overskirt. So this is the dress that we made a couple years ago. And I absolutely love this dress. It's my favorite summertime dress because it's a very light shirting cotton, but it's completely opaque and I didn't have to line it. And so it's super cool. And what I did is I have several originals that show lining only under the underarm, and that's just to keep or catch sweat. And so I did that of a really thick, nice cotton that's really going to catch the sweat. And then otherwise it is completely unlined, so all of this just gets like the most wonderful breeze. Best decision I ever made. So there's the dress, except it's really caught up back there. I'll fix this. Give me a second. Here we go. Okay. Now it looks like it's fixed. And now we get to try this. I did not bring a belt buckle, so I'm just going to pin it in front for today. There's a right and a wrong to this. Yes, there is. Okay. Figured it out. So it is a ruffly underskirt. I quite like that. Let me put it down so you can actually see just the skirt. I think it definitely does dress it up just a little bit more. Gives it that very 70s bustle look. And it's only just one layer of fabric, so it really, you would think it wouldn't add that much to it. I can't believe it took me like 3 years to actually put this thing together. And what it took me like an hour. I avoided an hour's worth of work for 3 years. I mean, to be fair, I didn't need it. I wasn't doing any fancy 70s stuff. I mean, it definitely adds a little bit of fancy to the dress because the dress is otherwise very plain. And I technically do have some fabric cut out. I could put ruffles on the sleeves as well. But when I'm working, I really don't necessarily want a ruffled dress. But I'm wondering if I need to put it on there anyway because the ruffles on this look kind of out of place, I think, without any other ruffles anywhere on the dress. Like, I think it would be different if there was like a hem ruffle and a sleeve ruffle. I don't know. You'll have to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, should I be adding ruffles? Because, I mean, most of the time when I'm working, my sleeves are like this anyway. So a ruffle really wouldn't get in the way. It just might poke out in a weird way, but it's still, it'd be a working dress. And I think it might look better with the ruffled overskirt. Yeah, y'all definitely have to let me know in the comments what y'all think. Whether I need to, because I have plenty of fabric left. I was going to save it for kid stuff, but I don't have to. I could use it all up. So I could put a ruffle on this, on the very hem, and I could put a ruffle here. Just a regular, you know, bias cut, not hemmed ruffle. I wouldn't do the double layers like I did on the overskirt. I would just do one layer. And I'm pretty sure I had the sleeve ruffles already cut out. So that would be a really easy fix if I decided to do that. But yeah, y'all definitely have to let me know in the comments what y'all think and whether you think that would be a good idea or not. But I think that's about it. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Click the little bell notification so you're notified anytime I upload a new video. And as always, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you back here in the next video.